right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Riley, and this is my new YouTube channel, Fellowship Trading and Investing. Something I've been working on recently that I'm super eager to start and develop. What this channel is going to consist of is kind of my trading, my investing journey, and my vision for this is I want to create a space where I myself can interact with other traders and investors who come on this channel and hopefully can leave comments of tips and advice, and just it's a space where we all can learn, right? I will let you know I am not a professional trader. I do not make thousands of dollars a day. If I'm being honest, lately I'm maybe barely profitable. I've had some really great wins and I've had some really tough losses. So just letting you guys know, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not a professional trader. By watching this channel, you are not going to gain hundreds of thousands of dollars. This channel is going to be a space where we can all learn together, step by step, no matter if somebody just started trading and investing 2 months ago versus somebody who's been doing it for 10 years. I want to welcome everybody to this channel. I want to keep it super relatable because most of us, again, aren't those people that can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. You know, there's plenty of other YouTubers who do that, and I congratulate them for doing that. But do I want to maybe get to that point? Hey, why not? I'm kind of curious to see what the future is going to hold, but right now I'm at a point where I'm a part-time trader. I have a full-time job, right? So it's not like I'm looking at the screen and stock market 24/7. Simply what I want to do is, and what I've been trying to do is just make a sort of a passive income, small wins every here and there, and just like I said, see how far it can take me, see how much I can grow, see how much I can learn. And I'm really counting on my audience to leave their comments in the comment section. Give me some constructive feedback or criticism. What can I do better? What am I doing a good job at? Like I said, I want this to be a space where everybody can learn and grow. So that's the point of this channel. All right, so if we move to the next slide here, get to know me a little bit. So again, my name is Riley. Like I said, I'm 28 years old. I'm a part-time trader and investor. I started trading and investing January of 2020. We are in April 2025. There has been quite a lot of things that have happened since I started trading. COVID in March of 2020, probably throughout the rest of the year and even into 2021. Yeah, that wasn't really the best start for me. Of course, I probably joined when maybe markets were at all-time highs. And then, of course, it had maybe the biggest dip since the 2008 financial crisis. So my mentality back then, I was scared. I was panicked. I had no idea what I was doing. Lost quite a bit of money. But with the mindset that I have now, 5 years later, is that with a dip like that, and like we've recently had with, the tariffs and whatever's going on in the market right now, with this administration and how people are reacting to it, it's from my mentality, 5 years ago being panicky scared versus now with the dips that we had. Oh man, I'm super grateful for that. And like I said, and we'll get into all that in next episodes and stuff like that. But I'm a college graduate with a BS in kinesiology, emphasis in physical therapy. Now, am I doing that now as my career? No. Am I in debt with student loans? Yes, I know. So something that I didn't follow through with, but hey, I am grateful that with the career that I have, I've been doing it for 9 years. So it's taken me quite a long way. So this is my second experience with YouTube. I used to create video game content on YouTube during my high school years, which was maybe 2012, 2013. I was actually watching a couple of videos of it the other day, and it's super cringy. So yeah, we'll just keep it at that. And then again, something about myself, I'm a person that I always want to strive to become at least 1% better every day, whether that's here doing the stock market, learning and trading, with my audience, or in my personal life, relationships, my work life, my career, like I just mentioned, any aspect. I'm a person that I always want to learn something new every day. How can I better myself every day? And that's the type of person you're going to get with me by watching my videos. So just know that. All right. my vision for this channel is to create a space where we can learn together, as I mentioned. So uh, I feel like it's going to be very important to grow and obtain an audience and have a comment section filled with constructive criticism and new ideas, because again, I'm not perfect. I do not know everything, right? I've been doing this consistently, for 5 years. So I feel like I know a good amount, but I don't know everything, right? So again, if you're tuning into this channel expecting to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's not going to happen. All right. So again, this channel is some place where we could all learn. I share what I've learned with you guys, and you guys share, what you learned with me. So that way we can all implement all these different strategies, and hopefully we can all become profitable. Because there's like a statistic that, correct me if I'm wrong, 90% or even more, they're unprofitable traders. So I want to change that narrative. I've been profitable maybe 1 out of my 4 or 5 years doing this. So I've lost quite a good amount of money, but like I said, I'm learning. I'm still young, and I feel like with my mentality and with my mindset, I can do some pretty great things with this. So it takes all of us, right? So, and then this space is going to include full transparency, no sugarcoating. I'm trying to keep it relatable, because again, most of us aren't like, those other YouTubers that make $50,000 a day and are multimillionaires at 25, right? So this is not what that is. I'm going to keep it relatable, because most of us are just any ordinary person who works full time and does trading on the side. So all these trades that I'm going to go through with you guys every day, or every week or so, it's going to be crystal clear. I'm going to show you my wins. I'm going to show you my losses. Like I do already have 2 examples from this past week that I'm going to share, and that's to it. So it's something where I can definitely practice my discipline, because I think that's pretty important on being a profitable trader. Okay, so, and then like I mentioned, we're going to recap daily trades. The account that I'm going to be showcasing, it's less than 25,000. I'm probably only going to work with maybe anywhere from 2 to 5, maybe 10,000 at most. All right, so we got 3 day trades a week, every rolling 5 days, right? So we're not going to be one of those that have unlimited day trades where we buy and then sell 1 minute later, wait for a dip, buy again, sell another minute later, and have 50 trades a day. We got 3 day trades every 5 days, and we're gonna try to use certain strategies to take advantage and make the most out of them. All right, so I'm gonna be providing perspective of my daily profit goals and stop losses again, to help with discipline. Again, I'll show you. I got my first example, I think, on the next slide, so we'll go a little bit more through that. We're going to showcase trading strategies I've learned to execute these trades, and I'm going to display the resources that I've learned to do that. I have a couple books that I've been reading, and there are a couple of those YouTubers, that are multimillionaires that make thousands of dollars a day that I watch, where I've learned quite a few strategies from. So I'm going to go ahead and give credit where credit's due. All right, and then other than the daily trades that we have, I'm going to propose some swing trade ideas. I'm not just a day trader. I am an investor. So there are a couple stocks that I've been holding for many months and maybe a couple years, and I've been doing some due diligence. I have a binder full of all these tickers and companies that I've gotten some research on that I feel pretty bullish on. So maybe once a week or so, I'll propose some of those companies and share with my audience on what I've compiled over time and why I'm so bullish on them. All right, because there's ones that were $6 a share back in 2023 that are over 30 now. So I've had some hits. And I'm very eager and excited to share that with you guys. And I do rely on you guys to share some of your ideas with me as well. So again, that we can grow together. All right. Again, that's the sole purpose of this channel. All right. So with that being said, I do have my first example. My first trade of this past week was on Thursday, April 24th. That was Walmart. And one of my my accounts I'm invested in. I've been invested in Walmart for quite a while now. This account, I actually day traded. So let me go ahead and pull up. I trade on Webull. Okay, when I started with E-Trade. When I came across Webull, I like it a lot better. So this is Thursday, April 24th. All right, so we got the 6:30, right? Or 9th, I'm sorry, I'm Pacific Standard Time, so I might reference it as Pacific time, but 9:30 Eastern Time, right at the open. This is Walmart here. So it had a pretty nice dip for the first 10-15 minutes or so of the day. And then looks like it consolidates and it's going to start an uptrend here. The strategy that I used for this trade here was moving averages. I have 3 lines. I got blue, which is this is the 1 minute chart, by the way. So I got moving average of 15 in blue, moving average of 30 in orange, moving average of 60 in purple. So moving average, what that is, it's an average of the last periods of price action. So if my blue line is 15 and I'm on a 1 minute chart, the blue line correlates the average the last 15 minutes. Orange being the average of the last 30 minutes and purple being the average of the last hour. Okay, so the strategy that I used for this trade that was quite successful for me was to build or to create an entry point when my 15 moving average crossed above the moving average of the 30. And that happened right about here at about what, maybe 7:03 or 10:03 Eastern, right? So now the price then was, so this red candle right here had a low of 94.42, a high of 94.53, all right? I actually got in maybe just a minute or two later. My entry point, let me go back to the slides here. My entry was at 94.57 at 10:03, all right? So right here in the bottom corner, I did buy 90 shares, okay? So now, speaking about discipline, something I've been struggling on was I'm just trying to avoid huge losses because I've had some tremendous losses that have really affected me in my personal life. So we're going to avoid those at all costs. We're going to have a stop loss of $50, and my profit daily goal will be $50 as well. All right. So like I said, right now I'm playing with $2,000. All right. So it's not much, but it's something enough where I can buy long and then short as well. I will short stocks as well when I feel like it's necessary. But right now I'm playing with about $2,000. So 90 shares of Walmart. This is a margin account, so I do have a little bit of leverage with it. So got in at 10:03, 94.57, probably just after my 15 moving average crossed north of the 30. Okay, so let's see here. Now with 90 shares at 94.57, like I said, my goal is $50, right? Short and sweet. I'm not trying to hold this for a couple hours. I got work in a couple hours, so I'm not going to be able to look at it. Like I said, I'm part-time, just trying to do something quick, all right? So I set a sell limit at it was 95.13, right? So that would be about a $50 gain from where I entered, all right? So the blue line, the 15 moving average, when it crossed, it looks like it did give a nice uptrend as well, and eventually I did sell, or it did hit my sell limit right there at 95.13 on that large green candle right there at about 10.22. So that worked. Now what I actually did was I didn't sell out of my whole position. I sold half. I sold 50 shares, okay, at 95.13 at 10.22. Reason why I did that was because I know Walmart. I know how it moves. It's early in the morning, and the SPY and the Dow Jones was moving up with it as well. So reason why I only sold a portion of it was to see if there was any room for it to keep on going up, right, to maximize my profits. Because I know with Walmart, I've been watching it for many months now. It can go up a whole day. it'll, dip, reach new highs, dip, reach new highs. All right. So um, I did not sell my whole position. Now, if we go back to the chart, so my first sell limit was this big green candle right here. All right. It did go up maybe to about, let's see, was that high of 95.20, and then it dipped back down. So again, the time frame between my two sells was about 8 minutes. So I did close my position right there at 10:30. It didn't go up as fast as I thought it would, and I wanted to make sure it didn't dip down below my profit goal. So I closed out, right? So this was today's Sunday. That was on Thursday. So I can't exactly remember, my full mentality, but that pretty much sums it up. All right. So I hit my $50 profit goal. That was great. That's successful. And eventually throughout the rest of the day, I think it even topped out at, let's see, let me drag this. It topped out at like 96.20. So, again, it was one of those days where it just went up all day. So, but did I know that was going to be the case? No. Did I play it smart? I believe so, because I've seen days where right there at 10:30, 11 o'clock, that's pretty much its high of the day, and then it goes down the rest of the day, and I did not want that to happen. I was satisfied. I set a profit goal, and I stuck to it, and I executed it. All right, so that pretty much sums up that trade. Okay, so let's go back. Now, this next slide was my day trade that I did on Friday. Okay, so just the day after. This one was a short trade. This is RETO. Have I heard of the stock before? No. But it was one of the top percentage gainers in pre-market. It went up to, let's pull it back up here. I got it right here, my recents. Let's move. It's a stock that doesn't have much volume, except with the exception of Friday. Right here at the bottom left. So let's see. The reason why it gapped up pre-market is because it came out with a press release that they announced an acquisition of majority interest and something I forget, but that's why it had a nice little gap. So looks like it topped out in the high sixes. Okay, so now I'm not a big pre-market trader. Okay, so I've had some really nice wins in pre-market, but I've had some also really tough losses, because there was at one point in time where I would trade off breaking news. I would try to be the first one that would react to it, and there's been a lot of times where I find a press release pretty positive, but the market reacts to it negatively, and it burns me. So I'm a trader where I like to trade just kind of right after open, just after, so I can see, kind of get a feel of what the moves are going to be and how it's going to work. So that's what you guys are going to notice on my channel. Most of my, if not all of my daily trades, my day trades, they're going to be right after the market open. Okay, so I saw this one after the market opened, how it topped out in the high sixes, but it had some nasty red candles right after the open. So was it fluff news? I mean, a majority interest in a company, I don't really see. I think it was like 51%, so it was barely a majority. So I was kind of going with the flow on how the market was taking it. And again, I used the same strategy where my 15 crossed below. So the 15 was above the 30 the whole pre-market because of those candles. It started jumping up at maybe 9:15, 15 minutes before the market opened. Okay, so but as soon as the volume came in, you see those two big red candles right there. So the 15 is collapsing, and it's going to cross right below the 30, which is the orange line. Okay, so I actually shorted here. If we go back to the slides, I had my first entry short, $4.25 at $9.50. So $9.50 right here, right when it crossed. I think I probably hit that green candle right there. Hopefully I hit about the top of it, and that's what it looks like. So $4.25 right there near the top of that green candle. Now, it could have been people had stop losses, from early in the morning, where they they had to exit the position. That probably caused, a lot of these red candles. Had a nice little, I guess, kind of curl right back up. And I think that's probably where it would have been best to start my short. But I actually got a second entry in at 440, which again is probably right about that that little green wick right there. What would you call that? A topping tail. So right here in the top right, my first entry was I shorted 75 shares, 425, and then I shorted an additional 15 shares at 440. Could I have shorted a lot more? Could I have had a bigger position? Yes, but I don't plan on risking a lot. I don't want to short, $200-$300 share, 200 shares, because with these low float stocks, anything can happen. So, like I said, and we're only playing with, just over $2,000. So I ain't trying to get too crazy. I'm just trying to play it safe, trying to play it smart. So I upped my average from 425, I think it was to like 427 or 432 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it looks like I got bailed out because these two red candles right here. If I go back to Webull, now again, I have a $50 profit goal. So as this was dipping right here, so it was a high of 451, a low 427, and then right here, this big red candle, high of 428, low, it went sub 391. Okay, now with the amount of shares I had, 90 shares, with the average that I was at, a $50 profit goal would have put me at about 369, I believe. Okay, so as soon as I completed my second entry, I set my cover limit, my buy limit right there at 369, and it took a little bit of time for it to hit it. I was up on my profit because again it was trading under my average. But this final red candle right here is the one that set my trigger and my order. So it had a high of 408, low of 375, and then it ticked down to 369 somewhere. Oh, it was this red candle right here. It had a low of 367. Okay, so what was that? 1027. That's when I got out and I hit my profit goal. Okay, so let's see, 1026. Okay, so 90 shares, I bought it at 369. What I maybe could have done better was what I did with Walmart the day before. I could have maybe covered half of my position right there at 369, because as you can tell, about a half hour later, right at about just before 11 o'clock, it has this big red candle. And just after that, it had a low of 326. Now, through the rest of the day, I think it finished at like 388 or 389. I think that's where it closed at. But knowing that this downtrend right here, I could have probably maybe waited a little bit longer and maybe sold only half of my position first. But hey, like I said, that's maybe something that I observed after the fact. But at the end of the day, I'm not really stressing it because, like I said, I hit my profit goal. I made $50. Okay, so it's a green day. That's a day where I'm at ease and I feel successful. So that's already $100 right there in 2 days in a $2,000 account, and I'm satisfied. Okay, so but it's just some ideas, something that again, after the fact that I could have done better. Will I maybe implement it in future trades? Why not? But like I said, with these two trades especially, I was just trying to work on my discipline. I had a pretty big loss a couple weeks ago. I'm still up for the year, thankfully. But like I said, I just wanted to focus on discipline because I feel like that's one of the most important, if not the most important factor of becoming a profitable trader. Okay, so those are right there, 2 trades to end the week. Okay, Walmart and RETO. All right, so. And that's pretty much going to wrap up. This is the first video, all right? So we're just kind of breaking the ice. You guys getting to know me and my mindset and my perspective. Just kind of an introductory video on what to expect. Next video, I'm going to probably shoot out a swing idea, a company that I've been eyeing for a couple years now. And I've gotten in, gotten out of, gotten in, gotten out of, and I've taken pretty good advantage of it. But it's a company long term that I see pretty bullish. So next video, I will be proposing that ticker and that company to you guys. And again, feel free, leave some comments. If you noticed I could have done something better, let it be known. If there's a company that you feel pretty confident about that you want me to see, let me know. Again, this is a space where we can all interact and keep it positive. Okay, so again, this is Fellowship Trading and Investing. Thank you for tuning in.